The topic of this class are tumor markers and the basis of cancer therapy. I have already discussed about the molecular basis of cancerogenesis. So you must have certain ideas how cancer occurs. And this cancer has to be diagnosed and treated. So here is some ideas how different cancers can be diagnosed, monitored, and as well as what is the basis of the treatment of these cancers or tumors. Next please. So first of all, what is a tumor marker? By definition, a tumor marker is a substance present in or produced by a tumor, which may be a benign tumor or a malignant tumor. Benign tumor means which is not malignant, that means which does not metastatize. There has nothing metastatic or malignant changes, means this tumor is most aggressive and they can metastasize. You will further know about this type of different malignant and benign tumor in your different pathology classes. So a tumor marker can also be considered by the tumor's host in response to the tumors present. They are maybe some proteins or some molecules which are elaborated from the tumor's host. As a result, the tumor is going. That can be used to differentiate a tumor from normal tissues and or to determine the presence of a tumor based on measurement in the blood or secretions, and that can be detected in various body fluids and on the surface of the cancer cells. That means a tumor marker means any substance present because of the tumor in other body secretion or other body parts, which can give rise to an idea of the tumor's presence within the body. Next please. Now what are the uses of these tumor markers? These markers are usually used for screening the populations. Suppose a population has to be screened, so markers will give you idea what are the types of population, how much amount of population is actually having this type of problems, which can be screened. So it will give very rapid idea of mass counseling. Differential diagnosis of symptomatic patients. Also, a tumor marker helps to diagnose. Differential diagnosis, that means the provisionally suspected tumor, but what type of tumor? And so you can go for the markers and diagnose the proper way of tumor. Your staging of the cancer can also be established by the amount of the marker secreted. Estimating the tumor volume, similarly the amount and the volume as a prognostic indicator for the disease after tumor is being treated and how the tumor is behaving now, whether it has been reduced or it is further progressed. So that can also give you an idea, and evaluating the success of the treatment that I have told you. Detecting the recurrence of the cancer. A tumor suddenly which was resoluted, now here again they are coming back to the life, then you can also detect the cancer and monitoring response to therapy. That is the almost similar things that I have already told you. So in a way, mainly Very important purpose of the tumor markers are for the diagnosis, for monitoring. Next please. As I have told you, tumor markers are nothing but the factors released because of the tumor cells presence in the particular human being, and usefulness of this tumor marker basically for diagnosis, for follow-up of therapy, and as a prognostic marker. Also screening marker, as I have already told you. Now, there is some examples of the tumor markers, common tumor markers. Now, in a blood or serum, oncofetal antigens are very important. Oncofetal antigens means these particular antigens supposed to be present in the fetal life, because fetal cells required the particular antigens. They elaborated their antigens, and during the course of the development, gradually their fetal cells are differentiated tissue, organ systems, and now they no longer secrete them. There, I have already told you in your earlier classes that there is selective gene expression during the development and organ development. So, some genes are expressed and some genes are suppressed. So, these genes were earlier life it was expressed, one of which is alpha fetoprotein. And now, why tumor cells used to secrete this? Because, as you know, tumor means the growth is incoherent and excessive. The excessive means cells rapidly have to grow and proliferate. So, they don't get further time to differentiate. So, a liver may have certain cancer where the primitive cells are now coming out, and accordingly they are now elaborating some antigens which were actually elaborated in the fetal life. So, these type of antigens are known as oncofetal antigens, and alpha fetoprotein is one of them. In a liver cancer, in the germ cell testicular teratoma, you find this type of alpha fetoprotein elaborated in the patient serum. Carcinoembryonic antigen CEA, similarly they are also associated with colorectal, GI and lung carcinoma. There are various type of this type of antigens which are present in the fetal life and now elaborated in different type of cancers. Now, some enzymes also give rise this type of tumor markers, use this type of tumor markers. One is ALP, alkaline phosphatase. Especially in the bone carcinoma, various disease of the bone, you will find a different racemic type of alkaline phosphatase is elaborated in a very rapidly, in a very high amount of alpha fetoprotein can be elaborated. Acid phosphatase, previously it was used as a marker or screening marker in prostatic carcinoma, but nowadays because we have got better diagnostic marker, better tumor marker in that type of cancers, we rarely use this acid phosphatase. We use PSA, prostate specific antigen, which gives us idea about the prostatic carcinoma. Now, certain hormones are also used and they are metabolized, used as a tumor marker, like beta HCG. Beta HCG is usually elaborated in the pregnancy, which requires for the maintenance of the pregnancy. But in chorionic carcinoma, it is level of this beta HCG is abnormally high. And so, that can be used as a marker. Calcitonin is a marker for medullary thyroid carcinoma. ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, used as a marker in lung carcinoma, then the oat cell carcinoma of the lung, and vanillyl mandelic acid is a marker for what is vanillyl mandelic acid? I think you have already gone through. It is the end product of epinephrine and non-epinephrine metabolism, and that is increased in a carcinoma related to that gland. Medullary carcinoma pheochromocytoma is the carcinoma of the adrenal gland, thereby causing more and more secretion of epinephrine and more and more secretion of the same product. This can be also measured in the urine. Previously it was used, but nowadays, because cancer diagnostic does not depend on the markers, physically they have other procedures of diagnostic nowadays. Radiological diagnosis, histopathological diagnosis, that is the surest way of diagnostic a cancer. But tumor markers are actually used for the corroborative findings and a progression of the disease. So, vanillyl mandelic acid also estimated in the urine. Now, in serum, serum proteins are very much used as a marker, like immunoglobulins, mainly light chains of the immunoglobulins. They are inoculated in the multiple myeloma. You know, multiple myeloma associated with increased secretion of the light chain of the immunoglobulins, and also secreted through the urine that protein, sometimes identified as Ben-Jones protein. So these are a few of the markers which are commonly used. I have mentioned here. There are other markers as well. If you are interested, you can always go through, and in your practical life, clinical life, you will be using lot of these markers to diagnose, to follow up, and look after the prognosis of the cancer patients. Here we are going to discuss the basis of cancer therapy. You should have a preliminary ideas how cancer is taken care of. You know how it is the cancer, how cancer is produced. You have already have an idea of what are the different ways the cancer can be diagnosed. Now you have to treat the patients. So what are the different bases of cancer therapy? So here you will be given the introduction what are the therapeutic approach for this type of patients. So a type of treatment that uses drugs or other substances to identify and attack specific type of cancer cells with less harm to normal cells. That should be the whole idea when you target a cancer cells for treatment. These treatments includes surgeries, radiations, chemical agents, or biological therapies. So I will be going in a little detail. Next please. So basic treatment modalities consist of the following. Any one or maybe in combination of more than one are used. Surgical interventions is very important. Then radiation therapy, radiation ablation, chemotherapy, gene therapy, and stem cell and bone marrow transplants. That is also very commonly done nowadays, and immunotherapy. So these are the modalities basically used for the cancer patients, cancer treatment of cancers nowadays. Next please. First about the surgery. The surgical removal of the entire cancer remains the ideal and most frequently used treatment method. Surgery may be the primary method of the treatment, or it may be a prophylactic, palliative, or even reconstructive. Next please. So common types of surgical intervention in oncological service. What are the intervention? As I have already told you, primary tumor resection. When tumor is there, you have to resect it. Resection of metastasis. You know metastasis? Metastasis means going of the cancer cells out from the source of origin. The source of origin may be prostate, but the cancer is located in the liver, so that is a secondary. Metastasis is there in the liver. Primary may be in the prostate. So like that, metastatic cancer tissues can also be removed by the surgery. Cytoreduction. There is a huge amount of tumor. You cannot remove as a whole. So you have to reduce the size. At least for the compression type of symptoms will disappear. Mainly in case of brain surgery, pituitary surgery. This type of things are taken care of. Cytoreduction. Palliative surgery. When you have certain carcinoma which are causing the daily life much hell, you can have some palliation treatment and then give the patient some comfort. Reconstructive surgery. Particular organ may be damaged, particular parts may be damaged, so you can have some graft, you can have certain replacement so that the patient's life is better. Now diagnostic surgery. You have to always taken care of the tissues for the histopathology, for the analysis in the laboratory. So diagnostic surgery is also very commonly done. A laparoscopic surgery is now very much important nowadays, very common. Yes. Next is the radiation therapy. So radioactivity, you should have an idea of radioactivity, and in a separate class you will be having, I think, radioisotopes, use of radioisotopes in medicines. Here I am going to just touch upon the principles behind the radiation therapy. Next please. What is radiation therapy? Radiation therapy works by damaging the DNA within cancer cells and destroying their ability to reproduce. That is the whole idea. You are targeting particular tumor cells, damage the DNA so the next set of cycle stops. When the damaged cancer cells are destroyed by radiation, the body naturally eliminates them. Normal cells can be affected also because surrounding cells are normal, so that can also be affected by radiation, but they are able to repair themselves. So normal tissue will replace and they will grow. So once cancer cells are damaged, once cancer cells are removed, the normal cells also take their place and it will be healed. Next please. Sometimes the radiation therapy is the only treatment a patient needs. In particular type of cancer, radiation therapy is the only way. But in other times, in combination with the treatments like the surgery and chemotherapy, radiation followed by chemotherapy, radiation followed by surgery. So these are or surgery followed by radiation. These combinations are taken care of according to the nature, type and size of the tumor and also the staging. Next please. So main basis of radiation therapy, two particular way: external radiation therapy and internal radiation therapy. External beam of radiation, radiation because rays, the ionizing radiations which are alpha, beta and gamma, which are actually elaborated from the radioisotopes. The different suitable radioisotopes are taken, cesium, gold, etc. So that you will be knowing radium is no longer used nowadays. So delivers radiation using a linear accelerator. That is the linear accelerator. From a distance you have to they calculate, the physicists are there who have to calculate how much amount of dose has to be delivered for the how much amount of tissue. That is a very unique protocol for the Department of Radiotherapy deals with all these things. And internal radiation therapy called brachytherapy. The brachytherapy, that means seed implants, involves placing radioactive source inside the patient. So very nearly to the tissues, so that tissues which are actually targeted are damaged, not the surrounding normal tissues. The type of treatment used will depend on the location, size and type of cancer. That I have already told you. Next. Now, chemotherapy. That is another modality of treatment, very commonly used, maybe alone or in combination with the other methods. Next please. Chemotherapy is a term used to describe any treatments that utilizes the introduction of chemical agents to an organism to help control, stop and or terminate the rapid growth of cells. There are 60 types of chemotherapy currently available and new ones being developed all the times. So newer things are coming. So number of chemical agents are there which are being used by the oncologists nowadays. Next please. So if you consider a classification, it's a huge list, but just try to give you an idea. Chemical structures and resource of the drugs accordingly, we can have some cytotoxic drugs, alkylating agents, antimetabolites, anti-tumor antibodies, plant-derived products, and miscellaneous cytotoxic drugs. Some hormones and hormone antagonists are also used. Immunomodulators and immunosuppressants, they are used also, and they are chemicals which are used. Now cell cycle or phase specificity of the drug, you can classify a cell cycle non-specific agents like alkylating agents, cell cycle specific agents, there are so many. So I am not going in detail because it all will be studied by you in the higher classes, in the classes of pharmacology, and also in the Department of Medicine you will be using some. Next please. Some of the drugs, as you are going through biochemistry classes, some of the drugs which has already been mentioned to you, that I want to highlight, like these anti-metabolites. We have already gone through folic acid antagonist, methotrexate. So it is very much used for treatment of cancer. Then purine antagonist, that you have already covered. Some purine antagonists, 6-mercaptopurine, 6-azathioprine, they are the synthetic nucleotides which are used as a drugs. You have already studied. Pyrimidine antagonist, 5-fluorouracil like cytarabine. So these are the drugs which are definitely in use for the treatment of cancer. So like that, there are some other different groups of drugs which are also used. You will be knowing that in future. Next please. Some antibiotics, actinomycin D, mitomycin C, these are also used. As you have already gone through your earlier classes, they are also used. Now interferons and the plant-derived different products that you will be understanding in future. So different agents are grouped into different categories are used. So far in the biochemistry classes, some of the molecules you have already know how they are used. Then you will be gradually going to know all these things. Next please. So hormones that I already mentioned, some of the hormones are definitely in use. So I am not going in detail here. Next please. So how do these drugs work? Basically, I have told you the drugs enter the bloodstream and reach all parts of the body, and cytotoxic drugs destroy cancer cells by damaging them so that they can't divide and grow. The drugs can also affect normal cells. Next, that is the adverse effects of the drugs. Now, there are sometimes targeted therapy. You are delivering a drugs and are targeted to some tissues. It is the newer type of cancer treatment, and it uses the drugs or other substance to identify and attack cancer cells only. They spare the normal cells. And it is a growing part of the treatment of many types of cancer. That is the approach nowadays to minimize the normal damage to the normal cells. Immunotherapy boosts up the body's natural defense to fight the cancer. It uses substances made by the body or in a laboratory to improve or restore the immune system function. It is also called as biological therapy. So you have to improve your immune system, and immune system will destroy and eliminate the cancer cells. Next. Newer modality of cancer therapy includes the gene therapy. So gene therapy is a very modern type of approach where some of the cancer is definitely being taken care of by the gene therapy, but is not always available. The gene therapy is a technique for correcting the defective genes that are responsible for the cancer development. As I already told you, mutations, errors in some of the genes like oncogenes, tumor suppressor genes or apoptotic genes are affected. So that has to be corrected. How it uses carriers to transfer the gene, which are known as vectors. You know how the cloning vectors you have already studied. The most common vectors that are used in gene therapy are virus vectors, mainly the retrovirus. They are very much used. It is used in combination with the radiation therapy. I will just try to give you an idea of gene therapy. Next please. This is the basic idea of the gene therapy. So what actually is the process? The cells are removed from patient. These are the cells, cancer cells. These are removed from the patients. Suppose leukemia, blood cancers. These cells are then in the laboratory. A virus is altered so that it cannot reproduce. Then a gene is inserted into the virus. A particular gene which is required, which is not there, which is erroneous in the host cell, is inserted in the virus by recombinant technology. And then the altered virus is mixed with the cells from the patient. So the virus now infect the cells, and the cells from the patient become genetically altered. So being integrated with the host cells through the virus vectors and now integrated, the altered cells are injected into the patient now, and then the genetically altered cells produce the desired protein or hormone in the host cells, which helps them control the particular tumors or particular cancers. So that is the idea of gene therapy. Next please. Now one important thing you have already come across in your biochemistry classes is liposome. Liposome is the artificial membrane that you know, and this liposome is now in very much use nowadays for a delivery of drugs, even vaccines and genes. So liposome is a lipid based nanoparticle developed to act against cancer cells. Now these particular liposomes can also be targeted by coating the antigens, and they will be taken up to the tumor cells where the specific receptors are there, and it will deliver the drugs. So directly it will deliver the particular treatment material to the affected cells. That is a very important use of the liposomes. Certain anti-cancer drugs are administered via liposomes. That I already told you. Even they are targeting the genes to be delivered into the cells through the liposomes. So that is a very wonderful use of the liposomes nowadays. Next please. Another very important approach nowadays is the stem cell therapy. I just want to tell a few lines on the stem cell, because what is stem cell, how it is produced, how it is harvested, what are the different types of stem cells, that is a thing you have to know. That does not actually permits me here to discuss. But anyway, the stem cell therapy, you know, stem cell has the potency to produce any cell. Your body contains lot of stem cells which has the ability to produce to normal cells, and it aims to try and cure some types of blood cancer such as leukemia, lymphoma and myeloma. In the stem cell therapy or transplantation are used nowadays. It replaces the damaged or affected blood cells with the healthy stem cells. The healthy stem cells have the potential to make it a normal cells. These stem cells are capable of giving rise to the new different blood cells. That is the idea stem cells are used. Next. So that is a basic idea of stem cell therapy, stem cell transplant. In a stem cell transplant, blood is drawn from the patient or a donor. Now this blood, from this blood stem cells are harvested from this blood. Stem cells are isolated, or stem cells or donor stem cells. There should be definitely matching, very much matching between the donor cells. And then radiation or high dose chemotherapy eliminates cancer cells. If there is any cancer cells, so that will be eliminated by radiotherapy or chemotherapy. So stem cells are normally, they are now without any effect of any cancer tissues. Then introduction of healthy stem cells into their blood, and that is replenishes the immune system. That is the very basic idea of stem cell therapy. So you will be learning more and maybe using further if you are taken up it is the profession in your life. Thank you. Next, so I have already given you the idea of cancer therapy, basis of cancer therapy, and mainly contains three modalities: chemotherapy, I have already told you, radiation therapy and the surgery. Basic idea of removing these cancer cells which are different than the normal cells. They are behaving separately. So what you can do, you can give the radiation and make these cells damaged, the DNA damage, so that they are eliminated from the body. You can further remove all the affected cells by surgery, and by systemic therapy also you are targeted so that the drugs are delivered into the particular cells they are affected, they are not being able to reproduce, so body will eliminate that particular tissues. So that is the idea or basis of cancer chemotherapy.